A lot can happen in a year. No matter where you are right now, things can be vastly different. Not so long ago, in a galaxy far away, my life was a hot mess. A lot like that. I had a mean boss, and she ran my life, or at least that's what I thought. And I'm going to tell you guys an example of how mean she was. She had this thing where you had to get all of the files to her at 4:30, and if you handed it in at 4:35, she wouldn't take it. So I was running one day to get it there by 4:30, and I put the staple on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side. She called me at home that night to yell at me, to tell me how stupid I was. And then the next morning, in a meeting with 30 people, she threatened to fire me and asked me if I had even gone to college, much less graduated kindergarten, because I didn't know how to work a stapler. She was so mean. But this is the thing that I learned, is that your life is your life, no matter what is going on around you. You know those Fast and the Furious movies? You know how they drive those cars? You have to drive your life like that. You have to drive it like you stole it. So Michael Strahan, who is someone that I've had a great pleasure to work with, always says you can't change other people, but you can change how you are around them. And sometimes, a lot of times, that's more than enough. One of the things that I really learned in that time when I was trying to get out from under this boss who was making me so crazy, and I was raising a young child and trying to make a marriage work, is that one of the things I can control was what did I take into my own time. I really, really believe in the idea of garbage in, garbage out, and I really just got serious about what are the TV shows that I'm watching? What are the podcasts that I'm listening to? What is the music that I'm listening to? I like a lot of hip hop, but you can't call me a bitch all day and expect me to uplift my life. So it's some of that's gotta go. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to curse, right? I curse a lot, sorry. But it's I just really got super policed and disciplined about what I allowed to get into my head, in my ears, the first thing in the morning, the last thing at night especially, and it made a big difference. I even made playlists that really exemplified the moments in my life that I wanted to have. What did I want to have creatively? What did I want my home life to be like? And I made sort of themed playlists, and when everything around me seemed like it wasn't going according to the playlist, it's didn't you hear me say this morning I was gonna boss up my life? And I would play the song again to remind myself that things were gonna change. I also started to meditate, which was really hard for me, but Andy Puddicombe, who runs the Headspace app, he always says this thing that no matter how cloudy it appears, there's always blue sky on the other side. And I think that meditation, even literally, I'll tell you the truth, I do 3 minutes a day, and if I'm not playing a word game while the meditation is playing, it's a miracle and triumph, but it does make a difference. So, the heart of the matter, how to write a best-selling book and why it matters. There's so many books that you see and you think, oh my God, these people are so famous, it could never be me, right? But the thing is that each of us has our own wisdom and knowledge to share. It's the reason why we're at an event like this. I mean, I was so happy, it's so funny, Lucy planned this program perfectly because Robin is a friend of mine and Chado is a friend of mine. And I was sitting backstage, I couldn't even move because I love hearing their stories. So I would say the thing about books, even more than podcasts or movies or other things, is it's you alone with the wisdom that another person has shared and has gathered for themselves. I have some recommendations of books. I'm a writer and an editor, so I always make book recommendations. The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks is an amazing book. The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Why Not Me by Mindy Kaling. The Law of Divine Compensation by Marianne Williamson, and In the Company of Women by Grace Bonney. So one of the reasons why I think, even if you're not a great reader, just listening to audiobooks a few minutes a day, even a few minutes a week can make a difference is because wisdom has its own lexicon. There's a difference. I can stand up here and tell you anything I want. Everyone here can tell you whatever you want. But it's really what you accumulate and metabolize in your heart and your head that will change your life. So while I was trying to write my first best-selling book, I was still working this full-time job for the crazy lady. And so I had to set my side hustle hours. And my side hustle hours were 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. to midnight. That was it. That was all the time that I had. And in the beginning of all of this, I wasn't actually much of a morning person. I used to set the oven timer and sleep near the kitchen so that I could get up when the oven timer was going off because it sounded like the house was on fire. A regular alarm clock wasn't working for me. But you do what you gotta do. I was pretty sleepy for a long, long time. I like to say that my kid wasn't actually raised by me, but by a monster fueled by Red Bull and gummy bears. You do what you can. But she turned out pretty okay. Thanks. So when you get the call that your book has made the New York Times bestseller list, just because I'm pretty sure that somebody, and hopefully a lot of you in the audience will get that call, it comes on a Wednesday. And so it literally, just so you know, it's Wednesday, it's just a regular Wednesday, you're living your life, it's 4 o'clock and they call and they say, you're gonna be on the list next Sunday. Not that Sunday, but the Sunday before. That's when you find out. And I've been lucky enough that I've gotten on the list 4 times in the last 7 years. So, thank you. The first is a book that I wrote with a chef called Marcus Samuelsson. And it took a while, but I was finally able to quit the job that made me crazy for so long. I went on to write a book with Robin Roberts, another chef, Eric Ripert, and a book called Wake Up Happy with Michael Strahan. This book that I wrote, The Meaning of Michelle, which was essays on the iconic First Lady, was chosen as one of Time Magazine's top 10 books of the year. And I stand for Queens. This is my latest book, Queen Bee, a celebration of the power and creativity of Beyonce Knowles Carter. So, lots of good lessons in life from Beyonce. So how do you write your own best-selling book? And I will tell you that the writing starts in your head. It starts before you even put pen to paper. And the first thing I would say is be present in your life. Be really aware of the moments in which you're most comfortable, in which you're most grateful, in which you're most surprised, in which you set a goal and accomplishment. I know that so many of you are students, some of you are entrepreneurs, some of you are working your way up a corporate ladder, some of you are powerfully taking a pause, as Robin said. So be present. Try to just really be there with the moments in your life that matter. You want to almost have invisible Superman glasses on when you're looking at your life. For me, these are some of the moments where I felt most present with my husband and my daughter. I feel like they really have grounded me in my work. The second thing I would say is find a cheerleader. Hey girl, find somebody that no matter what you do, they think it's awesome. And if you don't have that person, start looking for them and know how powerful it is to be that person for someone else. Way before I was working at the New York Times or working with celebrities or anything else, I have a cousin that I grew up with. Her name is Digna. She lives in Miami, and she's my prima hermana, and she's like, oh, me encanta, everything that I do. And she's like, even when I'm I just wrote a little thing, 3 lines, she's like, perfection. And so, so find your person and really appreciate them and try to be that person for someone else. Don't wait for quote-unquote success to seek out joy. Every day needs a party, a moment to laugh, to dance, and to be joyful. It could be as simple as a walk with your spouse or kids after work, a dance party in your living room. Literally, my husband and daughter, my husband's not Latin, and so he's just like, you've seen those YouTube things like Latin moms clean like this, Latin moms cook like this. He's like, why are you like that? And I'm like in the kitchen like this, cooking. And so find your party. Listen to comedy podcasts at lunchtime. In this fraught political moment has taught us anything, it's that life is precious. Life itself is the golden ticket. Every day that you wake up, you've won. Michael Strahan gave me so many life lessons, and one of the things he said is there's more power in your attitude than in your bank account. I really, really have been aware of how many people go far because they have a great attitude. They're good to the people who are serving them food. They're good in the morning when they're cranky. They're good at the evening when they're tired. Really show people how powerful you can be. And it's not about how rich you are or what kind of bag you carry or what kind of designer clothes you wear. It's really, I believe that there's a direct line between your prosperity and your opportunities and the way that you approach the world. So this is really like my final note, that there are 4 rules for miraculous work creation, according to Marianne Williamson. Send love, be positive, have fun, and kick ass. If you don't remember anything else I've said, if you can take those 4 things, you're on your way to creating a best-selling book and a really, really wonderful life. Thank you so much for having me.